Well, we have a small crowd for now, but we're trying to, it's always like herding cats. Everybody wants to network, and then they start trickling in later on. But nonetheless, let me present a very wonderful lady today, Vaida, Head of Partnerships at YouHodler. We are going to have a fantastic masterclass held by her. So please put your hands together for her. Vaida, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Vaida Shultenita, and I'm Head of Partnerships at YouHodler. And today, I would like to talk about how to boost revenues for your retail fintech business. This is a short overview of our presentation today. We will talk about the current market situation and what is needed to thrive in this situation. Next, we will discuss about who is YouHodler, just to understand why we're here, why we want to present these topics. And next, how to generate the revenue, the actual topic of the presentation, followed by the actual examples and some numbers to support the theory. I want to start with the one information, let's say, point, why is important, why we're talking about this today. In the current bear market, we see 2 points of companies who are really in need, let's say, for the additional revenue. Everybody needs for the revenue, right? But like we see 2 types of companies, and one is a big user-based companies who are really solely focusing mostly on the growth over the generating a product that gives the revenue and brings company in profitable situation. And the other part, we have a good product companies that focuses mainly on the product, doesn't really focus much of the user, and then therefore, due to that, to the low amount of users, plus maybe smaller business model, they also lack the revenues. So how do these 2 type of companies can attract, let's see, what kind of finances they can bring? Of course, there's external financing, which is VC funding, and even yesterday in the opening party, like we're talking with the companies, with the blockchain companies, and then with the startups, and they were like, we have such an amazing product, but you know, like I said, what's happening? What's next? No funds. Like when you have no VC, and we're talking to everybody, and it's hard to raise funds these days. Or we can also do with the crowdfunding, with ICO, but we know ICO is dead these days. Like nobody does it anymore. Therefore, another financing topic is internal. Going back to the company, looking what can be done inside of the company and how to generate those revenues within. This slide represents a current situation of Series C funding to US companies by quarter. The very last point, we are here. Like the slide just goes down and it just represents how low it is of the funds available currently in current market. This is why the market is not in the best shape for fintech companies that rely on VC funding. This is actually from headlines of our well-known company Revolut, who started in 2015, and the first year of the profit that they announced was just 2021. And one more point important to mention. Companies like that, they're focusing on the growth, they generate actually very low income per user. So it's like we're talking about like just few dollars just to become, when they become profitable. And there's a question about the numbers that we will see from 22. So it's actually in the conclusion of all this, we can literally say it's time to be efficient. We have to look into ourselves, what can we do? I want to represent one slide, and this is on the top level. You see a year progress of the industry. We had a very steep slide down. Everybody were, let's say, freaking out in April and May, and you remember we're like just industry collapsing, losing volumes in trading. Everybody were impacted. And then in January, there was a slight uprise. What is the bottom? This is the strategies that I'm going to discuss today that prevents the full scale of the actual industry and how us, YouHodler, with our products and our partners applying these strategies, how we manage come out not as bruised from the slide down, but actually rising a little bit faster than anybody else in the industry. First, who are we? Why is YouHodler here, and why are we talking about this? We are a fintech company established in 2018, profitable since 2020. We have over 90 people in our team, global, international, with 17 nations around the world, headquarters and regulated in Switzerland. We are registered and approved in Italy. We are on a daily basis applying and striving for new regulations mainly focusing in Europe. We're a proud member of Crypto Value Association, and we're very happy to be here today. And we have very strong expertise in our team in the C-level and in the co-founding with the corporate, commercial finance, CFD and forex trading, banking, and of course, blockchain. What does YouHodler do? Why we're here? Why we talk about this? YouHodler, and here, don't get me wrong, like, it was supposed to be a video, so it's not my bad graphic design skills, but we tried to work on it, it didn't work. So I will explain what was supposed to be here. I wanted to show how our app works. We have wallets, we have conversions, we have in the, like regular buy and sell of the cryptocurrencies. We even have IBANs integrated and live for each user with a personal IBAN account that are working currently now in whole Europe. We also have crypto-backed lending on the slide that we actually here on the screenshot. And we have trading tool based on the loans. Loans actually was our very first product we launched, and we developed the product through the 5 years that YouHodler had it, evolution of our offering. It developed from loans into the trading tools, and we even optimizing every single day. Oh, there it is. Will it work? No, it didn't. So what is coming up next? We want to, and I'm sure everybody heard the word bridge the worlds, but we want a combination. So in our company, what we truly believe, it's not that the finance is going to be just truly decentralized and it's just, old finance. The mass adoption and the actual value in the world is going to be combining both. Therefore, we're talking about and we're striving about combination of non-custodial and custodial wallets together. And fiat wallets, having your fiat there, being able to spend it, have a dedicated IBANs, and have the cards that you can finally buy that coffee. What is our part of this presentation, this is why important, why we're here, is our tools that we developed for our platform, for our users. We saw that it works, we saw that they like it, and we now started offering it also for the businesses, because this is battle-tested things that actually generates those revenues. So on one side, you see there is a loans as a service and trading as a service, LaaS and TaaS, based exactly on the loans. And this is just a teaser. What is the performance of our products? So if you have, as a fintech company, 1,000 active users, they can generate for you between 900,000 up to 1,300,000 revenue per month. And now I can look at calculators, how much that money would make. So this is the point where I would like to go into those strategies. Let's say, we in our company, and me as a head of partnerships, working with different types of companies and with different types of partnerships, I noticed how we can benefit, right? This is not only just about the sales trying to push, but also what can we do, what we can offer together, thriving actually with each other as a collaboration, not only competition. First, I'm going to discuss quickly about the revenue through new products. A second was going to cross-industry partnerships and networks, and have a couple of ideas what to do, and even some partners in this auditorium to mention maybe the potential activities later on. And also, of course, again, some numbers to show what happened. So there's a lot of text, but I will go through one by one and explain exactly what I mean here. So revenue through new products. Expanding your offering with the API or SDK solutions versus developing yourself. The key point, and I think it's the most important, especially in the crypto industry, where everything is moving so fast, regulations here and there, something gets banned, unbanned, banned, and then banks collapsing and everything. You need to be able to test and test it fast. And before you know to develop yourself, us our own trading product that's called multi-hodl, we were developing 1.5 years, 1.5 years until we fixed all the bugs, until we fixed all the flows, and we found the best solution, the best interface, the best flow of the funnel of what they do, what they need, how they trade. Imagine having all that knowledge in one product done in just 4 to 6 weeks. What's next is even more important. You don't need the expert team behind it that we had to build to figure it out about the compliance, how can we structure it, which regulations, which companies can they apply, R&D, what works, what doesn't work. This, within the API, the quick, so to say, solution, you get the expert team outsourced to attach to your product. You don't need to figure out to work for yourself. And the next, as a technology provider, having our own users, what you get as well is we tried the marketing tools, we tried the angles, we tried languages, we tried the geos, we know everything that works, what works in a stable market, what works in a volatile market. You get like the marketing package together saying this is the product, this is how you package, this is how you present it, and this is what you do when people start getting comfortable with it. Of course, there are also cons against it, why you would not do it. There are many companies that they want to do, we develop just us, we don't want to integrate third-party solutions, and that is fine. The resources might be already scarce. Like if you really have a tight roadmap and you have a really just limited amount of development resources, it might very well be that being able to integrate such a product will take a little bit more burden. So maybe, and the third part is not just the right time. As we saw during the situation with the banking in the US, we found companies and we found partners who were actually willing and we started to communicate with them, but then because of the collapsing of the banking situation in US, what happened, they just had to focus somewhere else. So sometimes everything looks fine, and when everything's good, concentrating on the priorities and then the good things, we can help there. I will explain exactly about these points, showing our product as a follow-up example. So the multi-hodl, you see how it looks like, easy interface. And we have 100 back office support. We have fast and simple integration, as I mentioned, 4 to 6 weeks, and we have minimized risk of exposure because we have it on our site 24/7, day and night, weekends, Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, anytime. Our multi-hodl is also important. We know what works, and we know what kind of audience it is. So it is for beginners. You know your audience much better than anybody else. And picking partner, us or somebody else when integrating API, you definitely need to know, will this product will work for my audience, if it's institutional, if it's retail, if it's beginners, how much knowledge do they have, how much savvy of the technical information they have. We know for sure, let's say it's not really for geeks, professional traders, we need more tools, more infrastructure, but we have even such partners and we have such users who actually trade and use it for fun, but we know for ourselves the majority of our clients is beginner and intermediate users. Of course, you cannot miss by choosing a product that it has industry standard functionality, bare minimum. So I will not go through everything, but you see like a simple interface with the points in one screen. You can just like with a couple clicks, you can make the first trade. And these are the numbers. Numbers, of course, always most important. These are our numbers. And I want to point out, remind you about the number that I mentioned about Revolut earlier. Remember when I said per user we get like barely few euros, barely few dollars? In particular products like ours, we get 350 per average monthly per revenue per active user. That means it is different to compare, with the giants, of course, because they were focusing, on the growth. But in this case, we actually have numbers to support it and show it. Yes, small disclaimer, we have other supporting products that helps to keep users, that helps with your marketing materials and so on. But this is as a benchmark, what can expect. We also know for who it's best. Our product especially the multi-hodl, the trading solution, is very great for crypto wallets. It's great for neobanks. It's great for crypto and finance media apps, even not necessarily need to have the whole infrastructure because it's possible to have as an iframe if you don't want just API or SDK, and also for retail and digital payment providers. And when I mentioned having easy integration, it must be easy, because it must be easy for the users. It must be easy also for the tech team to integrate, not to get overloaded and overcomplicated. So this is literally what happens. User places a trade, API takes information, sends to you, hodler, we processes it, dealing with our dealing and our team, sends information back. By the end of the month, split the revenue. Simple as that. When I mentioned that you don't have to build the team behind it to support it, this is what I mean. This is the whole stack of knowledge that you would need to build in able to be possible to actually build and maintain for yourself the product. The tech is onboarded, fixed, and always ready. We have the finance team that helps with the financing. We have the legal compliance, also even in the room. We have marketing and customer support will help with all the questions, and having risk management that's always there 24/7 on our side, so you don't need to care about that either. And you can take the product that already works, and you take that from the testimonials of people that are, on Trustpilot with a product that was launched in 2019. So this was the mention of the information, let's say, about the integration of additional products in your for the additional revenues. Now, next point was cross-industry partnerships and networks. And what I mean about that, first point is sometimes we forget, that being in the same fintech industry, we have maybe different focuses, but we have something that we are not competing companies. And we definitely can find ways of collaboration, having B2B, even testimonials against each other company. We cannot promote it, we can talk. We have networks where we know people that might actually benefit from these additional services. We might think of events, a combination of events where a partner, our already integrated partner, has a network that we would like to approach, and having a network combinations together would definitely help increase the visibility. When generating revenues, let's not forget also saving the revenues, what already is there. So one point is very important and also learned from our side, is integrating wallets. There are multiples of wallets and protocols and technology needed, expertise needed to integrate that. So while spending time integrating one by one, working with aggregators to have everything done and focusing just on that saves so much time. And they having it either for the wallets, or same now for the liquidity providers. How long does it take on board legally with crypto companies? And having, with every single time, with every company passing to the agreements and passing to the different set of documents until you can get to the practical part. But having a one set, let's say, of aggregator that can have everything in one with the smart routing about your exchanges and about your trades that you need, enables you, in this place, one integration enables you the doors and the ocean of possibilities. And the last one I want to mention is the services exchange. We sometimes maybe get too caught up in the competition mode. But when we have even similar offerings, but we have, let's say, have a company that they have a cards, and we don't have a cards yet, but we have our B2B product, and everybody has retail. By exchanging the services, we double the profit. We get to offer our clients the cards from that company. They earn from that. We offer our tool provider, our trading, their users get benefits, and we also earn the volume. So the services exchange, the win-win situation, I think sometimes we're missing out when we're trying to approach with the sales. When somebody comes to me, I get millions of emails, like, we want this, we're selling this, and we sell this product. Okay, great. What else do you have, and what do you need? They're always trying to find, this collaboration part, and then there's a completely different conversation then, when it's both ways. They're both much more engaged to see how can we build this together, not just one way. Hello, do you want to buy this? Hello, do you want to integrate? These are the numbers that I wanted to share a little bit too. So talking about our products, which is B2B2C, the loans for the partners, and the trading tool for the partners, we can mention, for instance, Ledger Life. We integrated in February our loan product via iFrame, and we started with them. We see monthly, until now, 40% growth is volume for us, it's revenue for them. Our trading as a service product, here are numbers that we found out, let's say, in average per integration with the product. So the first line you already saw, 1,000 of daily active users can generate up to 0.9 or 1.3 million revenue per month, depending, of course, on the market volatility. And the more volatile, the more people just get excited. If something happening on the market, you can use the opportunity and really start engaging with people and engage with the users. Next is average balance of the users that trade, that keep this and like this product, is between $2,000 and $10,000. And also average user trading input, let's say per trade, per open position, is between 500 and 1,000. It's meaning that people do use amounts to trade and to engage, but when there is, let's say, when they start it and it's simple user interface, it's easy to continue. It's not a high learning curve, and this actually what helps us to generate these revenues and generate these revenues for us and for the partners. And also, not most important, it was a very important point to mention, the retention increase. We all know, I don't know if all we know, but coming from marketing, it is 7 times easier to activate the existing user than acquire a new one. So tapping in your existing user base with a product that people can actually engage more, do more, is much more profitable for you as a business too. This is how a product looks like, at YouHodler, a web application and the mobile. This is how it looks at one of the partners. So fully customizable front end on one of the neobanks that are currently working similar to Revolut. What they see as an achievement, let's say, from integration, at the moment they are generating about $260 an average monthly per active user. This is our integration at Ledger Life with the loans. You can see YouHodler here. It was decided that we wanted to do with iFrame, and via visibility, there's possibility, with iFrame, there's a possibility with API. This is completely up to the partner and how we want to structure it, how we can structure it. And this is me. Thank you very much for listening. Let's connect our LinkedIn, and whoever would like to try, this is also our app. So register, play around, see how you like it. I have a slide that says, thank you for your attention, and now we can answer some questions, but I go back if you still want to have that QR code.
Let's open it up to the audience. I can't believe
I know it was
that
brilliant.
Nobody has a question,
everything.
because I do. That $350 per user sounds pretty good on a monthly basis to me. That's very impressive, Ilya. So anybody, any questions? Ilya has one.
Yeah, thank you, Vaida. Could you please go back to the slide with the partnership integration with Neobank? And could you please tell us a bit more about other services they have inside this application?
Right. So this Neobank, what they have available, they have wallets integrations, they have IBANs, they have cards spending, they have buying, sell opportunities, so exchange on their app. And with integration of multi-hodl, they expanded quite massively also the revenue share.
So it's a combination of cards, multi-currencies, including fiat currencies, similar to Revolut.
Yes.
And now trading solution.
And now trading solution, that's available 24/7.
Thank you.
So you said there was a 46-week...
4 to 6.
4 to 6 week. onboarding time. So that is
Yes.
from start to beginning, integration.
Yes, exactly.
That sounds very impressive.
In
Congratulations.
to compare with actually what happens when you try to integrate yourself or develop yourself. Like I know there is a strong movement, especially we're gonna stay within our technology, we stay with our, but the burden on the development team is so high usually that it actually, and the mistakes that potentially can be done, it's much better, let's say, and I don't know, like if it's a popular opinion, but integrate it, test it, see what works. If it doesn't work, you wasted, 6 weeks? But when it works, you learn exactly what worked. And by the end of the day, if you really want to integrate and develop your own product, you can still do it, but then you can start already with the knowledge of your user base, what they used, what they did, how they use it. Maybe you need a little bit of a tweak that the solutions like that don't have, but you're still going to have so much more knowledge, the starting point.
And is there a fixed pricing for starting the work?
No, so the way it works, it actually is just a revenue share. There is no setup fee, there is no maintenance fee. So whatever the users generate, split, that's it. So basically making money. We make money only when the partner is making money.
That sounds like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, we have a question.
Hi. First of all, I thought that was an excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Vadia. There's a lot of cryptocurrency exchanges now in the market, especially in Europe, and there's new ones launching all the time. What would you say, in your opinion, makes you Hodler special or different to all those other exchanges that are in the market?
So the difference from us in the different markets is that we really want to connect the both worlds. We don't want to be just centralized on decentralized. It's the simplicity that is available for the users to try to have the first step into the crypto world, and then having everything available within it. You have still your fiat, you have your crypto, you have you owning your keys. If you trust to own your keys, you can not own your keys, but moving slowly, step by step, within one app, within one infrastructure, and then use the cards and use the IBAN. So this actually makes I know it's being used like one-stop shop, but let's say one-stop shop for beginners who can really, just feeling a little bit more safer to start. And especially because we have super strong compliance team and we're focusing on Europe, we're going really country by country just to be sure, we're really compliant, we really know how to protect our users first.
We have more questions. Let me start here and then I will come up.
Thank you, Ida. Excellent presentation as always. I wanted to ask what kind of, let's say, feedback mechanism you have to incorporate the feedback of your end consumers, right? You mentioned that, this looks a very convenient, very easy to use app. And you say, there's a minimal threshold of what kind of, level of service the end customers expect.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you're going more than that. So what kind of mechanism do you have to make sure that you continuously listen to your customers?
That's a good question. So what do? We regularly conduct surveys. We have a Telegram community where people literally firsthand can tell, look, this would be nice if you had that, or this could be. We have even polls for people to, what is now most important for you to prioritize? So do you want now additional wallet? Do you want additional feature within the trading solution? Or do you want dark mode? And then, then people then can actually trade. And we know what our users prefer. So what our users prefer, potentially what our partners' users going to prefer.
And just one more point to add here. We have really industry-best customer support. So we have 20% customer support with real humans behind. So they're working behind the screen using just simple intercom solution. So they're checking with customers, and after that our product department is much more important than just simply analyzing the type of requests, the categorization.
It's a direct line from the support to the product, and then in the product, it's like, okay, well, that makes sense. Let's do that. Yes.
Yeah. So first, thanks a lot for the presentation. Really cool. Also found the case study and your partnership with a new bank really cool. Obviously, in terms of user base, the traditional financial institutions have much bigger user bases naturally. Is it something you're also looking into, like a partnership with large, banks in Switzerland and abroad that want to get into crypto? Because I guess 4 to 6 weeks is never going to happen with them. But
True.
obviously, if you get into a partnership, it's quite
Yes.
valuable.
So let's say like this, 4 to 6 weeks is the benchmark, when we have crypto startup, not startup, but let's see, but like the traditional, the fast moving, they know they have to move fast. And that's the most integration. With the legal part and with the banks, of course, due diligence involved, everybody has to be checked, everybody pass. So of course that is on the side, but in the collaboration with them, of course, it might take longer, but we still try to even support as much as we can. And Ilya can maybe even then comment on the partnership.
Yeah, so the short answer is yes, and actually we're doing that because, of course, we are not traditional financial institution just yet. We have to use traditional financial institution infrastructures. So, for example, Vaida mentioned integration of dedicated IBANs for every single user in our platform. Of course, we're doing that in partnership with some traditional institutions. So, and we'd like to continue doing that. So currently we're in the process with a few Swiss banks to integrate Swiss native IBANs and Swiss native cards and to utilize their infrastructure. And of course, we are very much interested to integrate our product to on their side. Yes, of course. And that's why we are presenting this concept here now. So, yeah, so short
To create a win-win. Yes. Thank you. Yes, please.
Hello, thanks a lot for the presentation. So quick question regarding non-custodial wallets that you said might be interested, or you're interested in partnering with them. Happens to be I'm a founder of a non-custodial wallet. So basically, could you just give like a quick summary what services, in your view, would be interesting for such non-custodial wallets, and have you done that before? Or would we be potentially the first one?
Okay, sure.
So, yes, first case.
Let me give you the mic because the online attendance.
The recording, yes. My co-presenter, Ilya Volkov, CEO of the company.
Thank you, Vaida. So the answer is yes, we're interested, and yes, we already have the very first case with Ledger, because basically Ledger is non-custodial wallet, right? So could you please go maybe to the slide? We have the slide there. So Ledger is developing their Ledger Life marketplace. So inside their marketplace, we have released our lending service. So basically, any Ledger user can simply connect their non-custodial wallets to the Ledger Life application and simply benefit from our lending solution. And at the end of the month or quarter, we're simply sharing revenue with Ledger. So the use case here is quite simple. Ledger is developing some kind of true Web3 banking solution, right? So they're true believers that customers should take care of their keys, right? But at the same time, their customers still need to have an access to traditional services such as lending. The same, they're trying to do the same with payment cards. So instead of developing by themselves those services like lending or payments, they're just integrating partners. So we're providing our lending service to them. They're providing the connection to their non-custodial wallets. So with them, the first example is lending. Now we are trying to finalize our agreements about another product presented by Vaida. And yeah, I believe it's just the great example. We can do the same with other non-custodial wallets. The only maybe downside is about identification. So we cannot really execute transactions without identification of customers. So when we speak about integrations with traditional institutions, we can simply exchange KYC data in between of partners. When we speak about non-custodial wallets, we still need to collect this data. With Ledger, we have to request this data from non-custodial users. So this is the only downside.
But if the users are willing to participate and they want let's say, that particular service, we see that actually there's no problem to submitting.
Okay, we still have some time for questions if there's any more. No? If not, then please find both Ilya and Vaida here today or tomorrow. They will be around, and then also YouHodler is hosting one of our boats for the Friday boat cruise.
To the boat party
That
for
is
wine and more discussions.
And that is the absolute highlight of the Crypto Valley conference from the networking perspective. It will be amazing, and Ilya will be our co-captain, so make sure to find him. Thank you so much, Vaida.
Thank you, everyone.